Welcome to another of In the Raw. RK's Guyana Free Media, and I'm your friend, your host, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan. In the Raw. Tearful Norton promises to take PNC back to the grassroots and represent all the people. Now, this is a different newscast from News Source. And whilst I did one before, which might have showed a day before this, the writing and the style is somewhat different, and to my opinion, even better than the other. While I'm extremely concerned about Guyana and about peace and goodwill to all the people, the topic here is saying represent all the people of Guyana. The unfortunate thing in Guyana is that most of the Indo-Guyanese and also the indigenous people are of the opinion that Mr. Aubrey Norton, the new leader, is a racist. Now, I'm not saying this to give the man a hard time or a bad start, please. I'm saying this as a concerned citizen and one who likes to be open and fair as usual, to give him a chance to prove himself. Give him a few months, 3 months, 6 months. But if he comes out with racism and anti-democracy tendency, and he tries to disaffect the nation, then I will be the most vociferous condemner of his strategy. But if he's working for peace and goodwill, I will support him, me, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan of In the Raw, RK's Guyana Free Media, and I will always work for what is right and good in this great country that we call Guyana, our home. So let me give you this reading too as well. The new PNC leader also announced that in keeping with the party's mandate and constitution, he has asked former Chairman Volder Lawrence and long-time member Dr. Van West Charles, who was known as Baby Jesus in the days of Forbes Burnham and was teased by the people, but a man I personally like. Personally, I like Van West Charles. He knows that. To serve as advisors to the party, and that is a very good and a wise decision, I must say. But you know, Aubrey, I want to tell you also, sorry about that little, ladies and gentlemen, this is in the raw. I have no equipment, I'm doing it all by myself, and so I'm still trying to get my messages out. This is in the raw. So we'll have some bits of confusion, upturn, overturn, twisting a little bit, and so forth. But personally, like I said, I always like this gentleman, and I truly wish him well and best. He said that both have accepted. Mr. Norton also stated that he will be working along with the current opposition leader, Joe Harmon, in issues related to moving the party forward and developing. He will not be working with him to keep him in opposition. Now, you got to know the man. You got to understand how he writes and how he speaks. And he's usually very articulate. Whether you disagree with him or you agree with him, he's very articulate. And he will be working along current opposition leader, Joe Harmon, not permanent opposition leader, current, that's me for now, and issues related to moving the party forward and developing it, which means Harmon has to go. He will have to resign, or he might have to be fired. We know he's a tough one. He likes to play warlord. It is alleged and said. But it is time for him to go indeed. He has failed the party. He has failed the government of the APNO. He has failed the people of this country. Now, let me go on. Overcome with emotions at being elected as the new leader of the People's National Congress, Reform, Aubrey Norton has promised to not only take the party back to the grassroots, but to ensure the representation of all the peoples of Guyana from all ethnicities. Well, that is nice to hear. But motar and guitar are two different things. We know he is actually, I don't want to use the word marked, I had gotten into trouble for that, and they didn't get what they wanted. So I'm going to use, he is recorded and known by people of other ethnicities to be a racial man, as people say, as people alleged. I don't know what is in the heart of a man. I personally believe that Aubrey Norton wants to look after the interests of his people ethnically, but now that he's going to a higher platform, he's saying now for all the peoples. This is good. Look, ladies and gentlemen of Guyana, friends and supporters of INDA, RAW, RK's Guyana Free Media, let us give the man a break. Let us give him an opportunity. Give him a chance to develop and show what he is. And let us see that he proved to us that he's a man of class, style, caliber, elegance, to win the hearts of the people, to win friends. There's a special technique and a special methodology. I want to promise you that I will make this party a grassroots party, a party for all Guyanese of all ethnic groups. It is the kind of party we desire. I want to work with the executive to transform the party into a permanent election campaign machinery. He's learning from the PPP. Yeah, he's learning from the PPP. He's learning from Bara Jagdeo. Well, you should have done that before. You know, Aubrey, maybe the party would still have been in power instead of isolating, destroying, emasculating people's businesses as Mr. Harmon was doing, at least to mine, and I can prove it. So if it goes to court, I can prove it. And I would love to have him in the box to answer some questions. He did it to me. He did it to and others, to the sugar workers. He did it to so many people, even of his own ethnicity. So it's not necessarily ethnic for him, but just hate, so to say. Let's go back to the article, Friends and Families. I must submit to you that this is the first time in a long time that I'm being overwhelmed. He's feeling moved and so on, which is normal. I believe the party has put trust in me, and I hope to deliver it, Norton said. Most of his people, his supporters in the quarantine, in the Essequibo, in the interior region, didn't grow up in isolation. They grew up with peoples of other ethnicities, as families that I grew up with. My greatest mentors and friends and people who developed and educated me were Africans. And that is how they liked us too, because we provided the business and the opportunities, and they were the administrators of businesses and industries. The guy Suko, the best administrators we always saw, was from the Afro-Guyanese grouping as far as I'm concerned. Also, in the doctors and the judges and the magistrates and the lawyers, they were all Afro-Guyanese mostly, man. And so I love these people very much. They're part of my life. I have two children of that even married to Afro-Guyanese of my previous marriage. So I love people of all ethnicities. And this is a good thing you're saying, but you see, Aubrey, you are kind of tainted, the baggage you're carrying. You're a bit late coming out with this. So you'll have to prove it. The people might give you a chance. Speak to James Bond, Anthony Bond, if I had not given him an advice. And let James Anthony Bond give you the same advice. And I know you'll be talking about me in your meetings, and you're going to be talking to me in your executive meetings, and when you're meeting planning committee and groups. I know my name will come up. Right? Harmon did it, and he did it a bad job. Back to the article. Norton won the race for the PNC leader by a landslide. He won it by a landslide, winning 13 of the 14 voting districts at the elections and amassing a total of 967 votes, ladies and gentlemen. His closest rival for the position was Joe Harmon, who was far behind with 245 votes. Mr. Harmon, do you see what you have done? Even my workers, most of whom are Afro-Guyanese and love me, and I love them, and I'm grateful to them. The word is coming again. They actually identified you as a man who was trying to destroy my business, and so they didn't vote for you. Many in Buxton and other villages in those areas, many in Georgetown, in the East Bank and West Coast, because of what you tried to do to destroy my business and affect their lives. But you're too big to apologize, right, Harmon? The new PNC leader said he intends to govern the party with all of its members, including those who competed against him at the elections. He said the elections are over and the party with a united membership must move forward. That is excellent political wisdom, I would say indeed. This is our party, the elections are over and we must move forward. He said to loud applause from members who gathered at the party's headquarters for the declaration of the final results. Mr. Norton said that as the party begins its new course, under new leadership, it will confront the struggles already facing it. We have to carry the political struggle, and our first struggle will be for a new voters list. We cannot go to an election without a new voters list. It has been a basis by which a government was installed, and we have to uninstall them, and that process must begin with a new voters list. And there he goes with his thing, again causing the supporters of the PPPC, all those who voted for them, he's saying technically that they are idiots and fools because they don't know that they voted for the PPP and that the PPP government was installed. You're starting on the wrong footing. Stop this thing of targeting the PPP and continue to learn as you are learning about grassroots and taking the election mode to the people on a constant basis. You're learning from Irfan Ali and you're learning from Dr. Barrett Jagdev. Now I'm getting annoyed with you. Speak the truth and speak it always. You know you lost the damn election. And you, Harmon, well, forget about Harmon. He's just an ordinary member. You, Aubrey, recognize the government and move this country forward so that your people can sit on the boards necessary. But I like to see them on boards governing oil and gas. The same thing I had asked when the PNC was in power, include somebody from the PPPC to sit in on the oil and gas board. But oh no, of course, politicians always know it all. You, Harmon, behave. You, Aubrey, come on, mature, grow up, behave. Norton also said the party will be fighting against any attempt by the government to change the boundaries of Region 4 for election purposes. Now, if that is advised by the consultants and so on, then the government will have to do what is best in the country. Why is he so afraid of that? Region 4 is Region 4. You want to split it up, you can split it up. But it's still Region 4. Region 4, 1, A, B, C, D, you know. I don't see a problem with that. The new PNC leader said there are a number of other issues that will be addressed by the party in the coming days. And early into the new year, he brushed aside criticism of him from the governing PPP and accused that party of being divisive in its governance. Totally wrong. It was your party that was being divisive and was done mostly under the hand of Harmon, who received all the power. And totally, and even divisive within yourselves. He was unjust even to your own people. Anyhow, that's how politics goes. The PNC elections on Saturday also saw the election of a new chairman, young member of parliament, Shorween Holder from Region 2, who has been elected as chairman, while Fiaz Mursalin takes over as treasurer. The party's constitution has provisions for 2 vice presidents. While the party member Elizabeth William Niles has been elected as 1 vice president, the party will have to decide on the way to break a tie for the other vice chairman. position, and I'm talking vice president, ladies and gentlemen, I am referring really to vice chairman. So this is the second on his inauguration, and I wish him well. I, Haji Dr. Roshan Khan of the Electric Mass Teachings of Islam, RK's Guyana Free Media, in association with Ronald McGarrell, the Universal Peace Federation Guyana, RK's Guyana Free Media, we just wish him well and hope that he matures and he takes wisdom from the PPP as he's already starting and try to be in touch with all the people and try to win hearts and minds. Dearest beloved divine friends and family, your brother, your friend Haji Dr. Roshan Khan in the Raw. Say thank you and farewell.